respective rooms. Before each room, we have also mentioned which local delegate are present in that room. Apart from all this, my name is Angona, I am here. There is Bengal Chamber Help Desk or B2B Help Desk in the Yule Terrace, which is the corridor just outside this hall. You may please enquire any assistance from me or at the desk. For those delegates whose names are not mentioned in the list, you are requested to please interact with me or at the desk. We will provide you all assistance to schedule your meetings with the delegates you want to, provided we have time. Thank you. Please take your seats. We are commencing the seminar. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Amit Mitra is with us and we are starting the seminar soon. You are requested to please take your seats. To please lead Dr. Amit Mitra, Honorable Minister in charge, Commerce and Industries, Finance and Excise, Industrial Reconstruction and Public Enterprise, Government of West Bengal. Dr. Krishna Gupta, Managing Director, WBIDC, to the dais. We'll also request Mr. Nilangshu De, President of Non-Resident Overseas Association of Bengal, NROAB. Mr. P. Roy, Director General of Bengal Chamber. Mr. Ambarish Das Gupta, Vice President of Bengal Chamber and Partner and Head Management Consulting and Eastern Regional Leader, KPMG Advisory Services Private Limited. We are expecting Srimati Chandrima Bhattacharya, Honorable Minister of State, Law and Judicial. Srimati Bhattacharya is here with us. We'll request her to take her seat on the dais. Honorable Minister of State, Law and Judicial, Independent Charge and Health and Family Welfare, Government of West Bengal. We are also expecting Sri Subroto Saha, Honorable Minister in charge, Food Processing Industries and Horticulture, Government of West Bengal, who will join us soon. May we request Mr. Kollol Dotto, President of Bengal Chamber, to formally greet the dignitaries on the dais with a bouquet of flowers. To Dr. Amit Mitra. To Srimati Chandrima Bhattacharya. To Mr. Krishna Gupta. And to Mr. Nilangshu De. May we request Mr. Kollol Dotto, President of the Chamber, to please deliver his welcome address.
Good morning. Dr. Amit Mitra, Honorable Minister in charge, Commerce and Industry, Finance and Excise, Industrial Reconstruction and Public Enterprise, Government of West Bengal. Srimati Chandrima Bhattacharya, Honorable Minister of State, Law and Judicial, Health and Family Welfare, Government of West Bengal. Dr. Krishna Gupta, Managing Director, WBIDC, Mr. Leelanshu De, President, NROAB, Mr. Roy, Mr. Dasgupta, dignitaries from abroad, members of the Chamber and business fraternity from West Bengal. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and to all of you, and welcome to West Bengal, especially to the Bengal Chamber. We are proud to host the overseas dignitaries from Non-Resident Overseas Association of Bengal, NROB, and the privilege to have the Government of West Bengal partnering us in this initiative. India's oldest chamber at 160 years, doing what it does best, offering its services and its platform for networking between the business and the government. For the last 1.5 centuries and more, Bengal Chamber has dedicated itself to development of the commerce and industry in India with a special focus on West Bengal. West Bengal, as we all know, considered to be a land of opportunity. It has everything what is required to have a successful business enterprise, starting from access to the raw material, to skilled labor, to the best managerial talent, and specifically it is an excellent strategic location, being at the gateway of the northeastern state of India and Southeast Asia. We are very fortunate in Bengal to have an extremely proactive government which is continuously reinventing its service so that the investor have a hassle-free experience while doing business in the state. All the policies, what could be help the industry, like your industrial policy, textile policy, MSME policy, all are in place, and with a lot of incentives. I'm sure you will come to know apart from the deputing, and what they have done, deputed senior officers of the state government to act as a relationship manager to each major investor. The government of West Bengal has also constituted a 5-member empowered committee for faster clearance of any industrial project. Under this single window system, a proposal of a certain projects needs to be placed only once and against earlier where it had to be submitted each and every department for license. And with the help of the relationship manager, all these projects will be get clear and probably within a month, if not within 15 days. I am sure Honorable Minister and the government officials present here would speak more on the subject and enlighten us all on that. In the state economic curve is also in upswing. From April to August 2013, West Bengal tax collection growth has been the second highest in India with 21.6%. Moreover, the GDP terms, India grew at 4.9% during 2012-13, while West Bengal grew at 7.6%. Even in the downturn, as opposed to the Indian Index of Industrial Production, IPP, of 0.5%, the state IPP grew to 6.5%. Today, we have a representative from multitude sectors ranging from manufacturing, light engineering, MSME, food processing, horticulture, IT, ITS, real estate, construction, education, healthcare, and many other. I will specifically mention the 5 names. Everybody is important. 5 major names who has come from abroad. That's a Lulu Group from your Middle East. Quality Group operating total in the Middle East. Alam Asa Group is the Saudi and Kuwait. EMAD Group is again the million Kuwait, Saudi, and Satco Industrial Group. These are the 5 major investors who has shown interest to invest in Bengal. I especially welcome them in this conclave and wish them a great success. We have close to 150 local businessmen from around 90 local corporates who have specified their interest areas and identified the overseas guests and delegates with whom they would want to meet. In Bengal Chamber is delighted to offer their services to all business proposals and ventures that we hope would certainly emerge in this business conclave. The Chamber's infrastructure for hosting the projects, offices, manpower support For all coordination and liaison work for any investment proposal is in offer. I am very happy to note that the whole business committee of Bengal, as well as the general mass of the looking forward to success of this conclave. Everybody is looking forward to this program. I wish all the very best to in your discussion, and thanks the government of West Bengal, especially the Honorable MIC and Commerce Minister Dr. Amit Mitra for his support and interest in the conclave. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May we have now Dr. Amit Mitra, Honorable Minister in charge, Commerce and Industries, Finance and Excise, Industrial Reconstruction and Public Enterprise, Government of West Bengal.
Thank you very much. And, good morning to everybody. Good morning. I'm delighted to be here on behalf of the Government of West Bengal. I'm also delighted that I have a very senior colleague from the ministry, Ms. Chandrima Bhattacharya. She looks after not only health, but is the pillar of the law department, where almost all my files have to be vetted by the law department. So we are delighted to have her. She's a well-known lawyer, and therefore to have a colleague with us here who will, I'm sure, speak on issues of health as well as other areas that she's involved in. I am delighted to once again get together with Sri Kollol Dotto, Chairman Andrew Yule, and President of the BCCA, Bengal Chamber of Commerce. And he will bear me out that I have spoken to him 3 times directly on the phone, if not more, on this program. Not through a PA, not through a secretary, but directly from me, a humble minister, to the president of this great organization. That's the way this government works. It doesn't go through via this or that. You will bear that out to me, Mr. President. And not just that, let me also say that it is an honor for me to be here because Nilangshu De, Sri Nilangshu De, President of the Non-Resident Overseas Association of Bengal, you've facilitated this event with the great Chamber of Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Delighted to have you with us. And of course, let me at the same time welcome all the dignitaries, the visitors who have come from abroad. May I request that those who have come from abroad, would you want to just stand up and be recognized? We'd be very happy to, please give them a big hand. That's the whole idea. Thank you, thank you. Since I won't be able to meet you at dinner today, I thought I'll recognize your presence personally. And of course, we have the Vice President of the Bengal Chamber, a dynamic thinker out of the box, Ambarish Dasgupta, and gentleman with whom I have had the honor of working, both in his earlier incarnation and his current incarnation. And he leads many efforts of the government from his organization as transaction advisor. I'm also delighted that Mr. Sunil Mitra, former finance secretary of the country, has made the time to come here. And the past presidents, Shondipan Babu, please, may I request the past presidents to stand up, please? Because they have led this organization. I don't want them to be forgotten. That's the way business is done. Thank you. So, and of course, Dr. Gupta, who's the managing director of WBIDC, today West Bengal Industrial Development Corporation. He has not only he's a fellow colleague from Delhi School of Economics, he also has a PhD from the United States, from Stony Brook, an economist of repute, and therefore now I'm delighted to have a fellow economist correcting me on my path as a minister whenever I err. So I'm extremely happy to have Dr. Gupta. He will make a presentation at 3, I believe. So I will urge you to please be there, because there's a new dynamism I see in his effort, and we must be party to that. You'll also be interested to know, look at the back, that is WBIDC's 2 screens giving you our projects. This is not normal. The government means business and wants to be part of you. And if you step out of this room, you will see a bigger screen with all the literature available from the WBIDC. I don't think you've done this before with any chamber. Or if you have, I don't know. Not at this, I don't think with this chamber you've never done this before. So our support is visible and palpable because you can see it. So that's the way our government works. I must say that Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has brought a tectonic shift in this state. Under her leadership, we work shoulder to shoulder every day. Let me first say that business, I very much applaud business and Bengal. That's the topic of this great conference, conclave. I see business and the and is written in the modern IT fashion, at the rate of, to make it an and. So business at the rate of Bengal. And therefore I am proud to see the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry doing this wonderful event. Let me first start by saying, for us to demonstrate to you that Bengal's work culture is changing. I know business wants human capital. For human capital, you need work culture. Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has brought a complete tectonic shift into that. How? There were 76 lakh person hours, person days, or you want to call it man days, in 2010-11 lost to bandhs, to strikes, and that was the reputation of Bengal. In 2012-13, from 68 lakh, which now has been estimated to perhaps 76 lakhs, it has come down to 5,000. It came down to 5,000 in 2012-13, and this year, so far, we have no tally for any man days lost. We hope it will be 0 man days lost in this financial year. That's not easy to do. Mamata Banerjee said no bandhs. And if you have a bandh for government employees, if you don't come to work, will be forced as per the rules of the government employment, you will not receive salary for that day. Now that's a very tough political decision to take. And you'll be interested to know, on one of the bandh days, the finance department, which has maybe about maximum of 80% attendance, people are sick, they have taken various forms of leave. That day there was 94% attendance that day on the day of a bandh, which set the pace for the change in the work culture. I started with human capital because chambers focus on human capital. And I'm sure that your chamber is focusing on human capital. Let me go to the next issue. After human capital, the next thing you want to know is there growth in the economy? Then business flourishes. You'll be interested to know, which I've said before, India grew by 4.96% in 2012-13. Bengal grew by 7.6%. That's the kind of momentum you see in the GSDP, as we call it for the state, GDP for the country. Industrial sector grew by 6.24%, when Indian industrial sector grew by 3.12%. Exactly double. And we didn't make that, jig those numbers. Those are from central government numbers. So what is interesting is we are exactly double the rate of growth of India. Agricultural sector posted a growth of 2.56% against countries 1.79%. And we are going to move this to 4% is our immediate target of agricultural growth. And we hope to take it to at least 7-8% in the future, because 70% people in Bengal live in rural Bengal. Many of them are associated with agricultural activity. Services sector grew by 9.48%, while the same in the country was 6.59%. So services sector is growing at a phenomenal pace, 9.48%, almost 10% is an excellent growth for the service sector. So I appeal to those who've come from abroad and those who have joined us from our industry, that look at these spaces and decide which space do you want to be on. And the government will facilitate that process. During 2013-14, a number of big investment proposals have been received. And many of them, I'll give you a sense of how they have worked. Universal East Coast Power, with an investment of 2,700 crores. Imami Cement, for an investment of 400 crores. You'd be interested to know that process is very much on. And whatever difficulties they had, in small difficulties, would all be over by this week, I believe. And they have written to me, and I've promised them that within 7 days, all your issues will be met. Maximum of 7 days. That's the spirit. In fact, today itself, something will happen whereby one of their problems will have been completely solved. Zero tolerance to problems of industry. That's the kind of approach. Phoenix Conveyor Belts, 100 crores. I can go on with the list. Now, other than these, a number of big projects is being implemented in the state. Matix Fertilizer and Chemicals, under implementation, 5,000 crores investment. The plant is ready, I believe. Is it ready? In the Matix?
Yes, the production is going to start in April.
Production starts in April. And we have pushed that systematically. HR Johnson & Johnson, everybody knows. They are making an investment of about 500 crores. And that also the process is on fully. And both of these have some minor, always industry requires their own problems on a corporate basis and the government's issues. In fact, we are addressing their issues very aggressively. If there are any, they will move forward. SR India, with its proposed investment of 2,500 crores, is in construction phase. You also know that SR India is in CBM, coal bed methane, where you have Great Eastern. Great Eastern has already invested 1,000 crores, and I'm told that if the next phase they have asked for, they may investment at least another 1,000, if not more. Coal bed methane has become a big asset of Bengal, which this government, as a clean gas, very, very good for industry. We are pushing it, so two companies are here, Great Eastern and SR, and we hope that in that belt of Durgapur, Asansol, more and more people will go to the clean fuel, along with natural gas, along with CBM, and of course clean coal technologies, so that we can get all kinds of resources in that area. Along with this, let me also say that there are a lot of issues that we are handling. I'll give one. I know the media is always hungry to know what's new. I have helped Dr. Gupta to do a study on all our industrial parks. How many industrial parks are we talking about? Dr. Gupta, your total number of industrial parks I have is 23. 23 industrial parks. And what is the total area of acreage of these industrial parks? 14,137 acreage of these industrial, 14,000 acres of these industrial parks are there. Modules of land allotment, number of acres already allotted, 10,446 acres allotted, not intending to allot. And you want to know how much of this is still available to you if you want to invest. And here's a number that you may not have heard before. 3,236.181 acres are available to invest right now. So may I appeal to those who have come from abroad? Today you have a dinner, I know, but tomorrow, today's whole day you have a seminar. Tomorrow I am making an open offer that you decide whether you are looking for an investment and you want to see a park, a land that may be available to you, and Dr. Gupta is going to facilitate that process, and physically there will be people taking you there on behalf of the government proactively. So when people talk about land, I am putting on the table 3,236 acres right on the spot. If you are talking about larger land, There is you know that in Raghunathpur, we have a large amount of land, and already there is, we have Reliance producing cement, for which everything is done.
They have the land.
They have even paid the money, and they will start construction. This is a cement unit. Imami is coming up there, and they'll also start construction very soon. Those are big. That's a huge area. So if you want large tracts of land, you have it at Raghunathpur. Then there is 1,000 acres in Gwaltor, and we are just going through the Gwaltor land to see that infrastructure around it we'll build for you, and we will make sure of connectivity. 1,000 acres. That's available. Kharagpur. There is big size land available. So we urge you that either if you want small land, you go to the industrial parks, because those are ready. Those modules are already established. And for that, I have just offered, on behalf of Mamata Bandyopadhyay and her government, 3,236 acres of land in industrial parks, which belongs to the government, belongs to WBIDC. And therefore, there are no issues. You come and start your industry. If you want a larger piece of land, you have Raghunathpur, you have Gwaltor, you have Kharagpur. These are the three main catchment areas. And Panagarh, of course. So you have 4 areas for larger tracts of land. Come join us in this great resurgence of Bengal and be part of either small, medium, large. And I'm not even mentioning MSME parks and clusters. Those are huge in number. I work with MSME all the time. Very labor-intensive area. And that's very exciting for me. The next thing that the business asks for is, where is your policy? You'll be happy to know that after this government came, we worked avidly, and we have put on the net, so therefore we don't hide anything, on the net we have a new industrial policy. So those are industry captains and colleagues here, please go to the net and find the new industrial policy. It has the most aggressive incentive policy package, and we have worked with top minds like Ambarish Babu, and I can assure you that that incentive policy, I have looked at it. As you know, I was in Delhi, I know multiple state processes. It is, in my view, the most attractive incentive policy in India today, because we did a chart of what each of the leading states in industry do, what is the kind of policy they have, and only then we structured this policy. So incentives are, in my view, in my humble view, in the industrial policy is the best in the country today. Now if you want to see some further improvements, you tell us. We are open for business, for you to give us suggestions. The second policy that this government has formed and put on the net, MSME policy. Medium and small scale industry, micro, small and medium industries. And we've raised the medium level, the small level to 10 crores now. So that because with economy of scale, many small people are having larger investments. So we've raised it for the first time in the history of this state from